God warned the people of Israel that the king they demand will abuse them. And the end of Israel's national independence are a couple of kings who cannot agree who should sit on the throne to abuse the people. More after this. Ancient Israel enjoyed a brief period of national independence under the Hasmonean dynasty. During the Hasmonean period, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, that both will play important roles in the story of Jesus Christ, functioned primarily as political parties. This independence crumbles away in civil war when Aristobulus II, with the help of the Sadducees, rises against his elder brother King Hyrcanus II, who is supported by the Pharisees. Both parties appeal to the Roman general Pompey the Great, who recently conquered Syria, to be the arbiter of the conflict. Pompey decides that Rome is the appropriate power that should rule the country. In 63 BC, Judea comes under the control of the Roman Governor of Syria, and the Hasmoneans become puppet kings. When Rome sinks into civil war, Herod the Great wages a 3-year war between 37 BC and 34 BC to dispose of the Hasmoneans and to become king himself. With the blessings of the Senate, Herod serves as a Roman client king until his death in 1 BC. Herod the Great is a king who features in the birth narratives of Jesus Christ. There is no historical evidence for the massacre of the innocents, but many scholars believe that this deed would not be beyond the character of Herod. After his death, Roman Emperor Augustus divides his kingdom among his 3 sons, who confusingly are all called Herod. One of them, Herod Antipas, is a ruler of Jesus' native Galilee, and his brother Herod Archelaus rules Judea. He is particularly inept in doing so, and so Rome disposes him and bans him to Vienna, which is a barbarian town somewhere beyond the moon. Judea becomes a Roman province that is governed by a Roman procurator. Procurator of Judea is not a particularly prestigious post, so it is filled by a member of the equestrian class and not by a senator. The real power remains in Syria and in Egypt, who are both governed by senators. The procurator lives in Caesarea and has only auxiliary troops. They are second-class barbarian soldiers from Germany or Britain. The task of the procurator is it to keep the peace and to let the taxes flow into the imperial coffers in Rome. He only comes to Jerusalem during the high holidays. Jews from all the corners of the globe come to Jerusalem to fulfill their religious obligations and to pay their temple taxes. When Jerusalem is full with pilgrims, especially on Passover, the air is filled with messianic expectation. Passover celebrates God liberating the Jews from slavery in Egypt, and the people hope that God will soon liberate them from the yoke of the Romans. The procurator and his troops are present to deal with any of the frequent insurgencies when some rebel thinks he might be the Messiah. Then Roman steel convinces him that he is not. The ruling class of Judea collaborates with the Roman occupations. From among them, the procurator chooses a high priest who runs the country with the help of the Sanhedrin, the Jewish council. They seem to do what they can to keep the peace by managing Jewish national enthusiasm and the ruthlessness of the Roman procurators. The country is not in open rebellion, but it is also not at peace. There is a continuous low-level insurrection. But they contribute to the desperation of the common people. They buy the right of taxation from the Roman Empire. They front the money, and then they recoup their investment with as much profit as possible. Their agents are the tax collectors, who are seen as the greatest sinners under the sun. Their taxation practices drive the country into an increasing debt crisis. More and more people cannot pay, fall in debt, and are eventually pushed off their land, which accumulates in the hands of the rich. The notion of the secular does not exist in this world. Everything is infused and connected with religion, with spirituality and superstition. The people experience the divine as being constantly involved in reality. Manifestations of nature are seen as expressions of divine will of the gods or the will of the one God of Israel. A separation of religion and politics is absolutely unthinkable. Politics is religion and religion is politics. The world is full of spirits and demons and mythical creatures, angels too numerous to count. There is no healthcare, and the medical art equals religion. God makes you sick and God heals. People don't care about facts in the modern sense. They care about meaning. And the prime instrument to convey meaning is telling stories. And this sets the stage for a poor itinerant preacher from Galilee who will disrupt the world. The stories about his life, death and resurrection creates the largest religious movement on this planet. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I see you in the next video.